Welcome to our new Wind Mommy's Guide. In this video, we will cover all the information about her based on the speculations we have as of right now. I will try my best to make things as simple as possible for you guys, and I will be sharing only the crunchy, simple details of her kit. I will not be covering anything which I am not sure about, like this guy.
Dealing greater glacio damage considered as basic attack damage.
Let's start off with her materials. These are the overall materials you need for maxing her out completely. You can obviously save some of the materials according to your upgrade preferences, like not upgrading her basic attack to max level. These are her lightcone materials if you are interested. Now let's move on to her kit. I will be only covering the important details. As we already know, Feixiao is going to be a 5-star wind damage dealer, following the path of the hunt. Her main source of damage will be her ult. She is a follow-up attack character, and she has a base speed of 125, which is now the highest in the game. Her basic attack will deal wind damage to a single target. Her skill also advances her action forward in addition to dealing damage to a single enemy. Her ult uses a stacking mechanism. She needs at least 6 stacks to activate her ult, and she can obtain a maximum of 12 stacks. If one of her allies performs 2 actions, Feixiao will gain 1 stack. When the ult is activated, these stacks are used in flash attacks, after which she performs another type of attack at the end of her ult. Her basic attack and skill are swapped with 2 different attacks. One swapped attack deals more damage to enemies that are weakness broken, and the other one will deal more damage to enemies that are not weakness broken. Her ult will reduce enemy toughness regardless of the enemy's element. Feixiao's break effect increases by 100% if the enemies are not weakness broken. Her traces will give her more crit damage and ult stacks. She launches a follow-up attack after any of her allies attack. This can happen only once per turn and resets after Feixiao's turn. Her technique will create a movable dimension, which is able to gather enemies around her. Her technique increases her speed by 35% and deals damage equal to 200% of her attack at the start of each wave. I really hope you were able to understand the basics of her kit because I tried my best to make it as simple as possible. Now let's talk about her best relic and ornament sets. The Wind Soaring set, Grand Duke set, and Twilight set are the best relic set options for her. You should use the set with the best stats and substats. We will talk about stats and substats in the later part of the video. The 4-piece Wind Soaring set will increase her attack and ultimate damage. The 4-piece Grand Duke set mainly focuses on increasing her follow-up damage. So if you have good stats on it, just use it. The Twilight set is a very common set. Nearly all of you should have this set with good stats by now. You can also use it as a temporary set if you want to farm another set for her. For her best ornament sets, you should use the Inert Salsado set to increase her follow-up and ult damage. For this, you have to meet the 50% crit rate requirement, and the 8% crit rate bonus from this set will help you a lot. The next option is the Running Wolves set. Now, let's talk about the main stats for ornament sets and relic sets. You get crit damage or crit rate body according to your need. You can use the wind damage or attack sphere with the best substats, as the difference between them will not be significant. If you have 134 or above speed, then you should get attack boots. And lastly, get attack percent on your rope. For the substats priority, crit rate and crit damage should be your first priority. Then focus on getting attack percent and make sure you have 134 or above speed. Her signature lightcone will obviously be the best choice for you guys, as it gives you 15% crit rate and also provides a massive amount of defense. Ignore for her ult damage through 6 stacks. Her second best option would be the Stellar Sea Lightcone, which will give Feixiao 8% crit rate, an extra 8% if the enemy's HP is lower than or equal to 50%, and it also increases her attack by 20% when she defeats an enemy. It lasts for 2 turns. For 4-star free-to-play options, you can use Return to Darkness, River Flows in Spring, or subscribe for more lightcones. You can also use Dr. Ratio or Topaz's signature lightcone if you have one of those. Feixiao is going to be your main damage dealer, so I recommend giving her a 5-star light cone because she deserves it. Eidolons. Basically, her ult will deal more damage to a random enemy, E2. She requires only 1 attack from her allies to obtain 1 ult stack. This Eidolon will make her very OP, as she will be able to charge her ult more frequently. Her basic attack and skill will be considered as follow-up attacks. This will be very useful for follow-up teams. E6. This Eidolon will basically increase her overall damage, as you can see on your screen. E3 and E5. These will give her more levels. That's why I didn't mention them. You should get her first 2 Eidolons if you can. Feixiao is the follow-up Acheron with fewer restrictions. She will perform extremely well with follow-up attack units. If you want to build the best team for your Feixiao, then using her with Topaz, Robin, and Aventurine will be your best shot. This combination honestly needs no explanation, as these are some of the best follow-up units in the game, but I will explain it anyways. Topaz works greatly for any follow-up attack team because of her follow-up buffs and Numby follow-up attacks. This combined with Robin's coordinated attacks and Aventurine's Lynch's follow-up attacks will enable Feixiao to gain multiple stacks for her ult in a short period of time. This combination would be insane. You can also use Ruan Mei as a support for more break efficiency, and Dr. Ratio or Clara as a second follow-up damage dealer. You can use dual supports or one support with one more damage dealer along with proper follow-up sustain.